This is a test of the National Emergency Alert System. This system was developed by broadcast and cable operators in voluntary cooperation with the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the Federal Communications Commission, and local authorities to keep you informed in the event of an emergency. If this had been an actual emergency, an official message would have followed the tone alert you heard at the start of this message. No action is required.
.3 WVIN playing today's greatest hits and yesterday's favorites. At the top of the news hour, the winter storm warning for our area has expired. Most of the counties in the listening area have been placed under travel advisories. Do not go on the roads unless it is an emergency. If you must travel, slow down and take extra time to get to your destination. We're going to play a few songs, and we'll be back with more news at the next news break.
Civil danger warning. The following message is being transmitted at the request of the United States government. At 11:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a meteor shower entering the Earth's orbit struck the Moon, and debris is expected to impact parts of the United States and Canada within the next 15 minutes. Take the following actions immediately. Get to a basement or underground shelter. If you do not have a basement, go to the most interior room on the lowest floor of your home. Take shelter under a heavy desk. Stay away from all windows and doors. Stay tuned to local media outlets for further information on this developing situation.
At 11:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a meteor shower entering the Earth's orbit struck the Moon, and debris is expected to impact parts of the United States and Canada within the next 15 minutes. Take the following actions immediately. Get to a basement or underground shelter. If you do not have a basement, go to the most interior room on the lowest floor of your home. Take shelter under a heavy desk. Stay away from all windows and doors. The Canadian government will issue a statement shortly.
.3 WVIN with a breaking news update. A meteor shower that crashed into the Moon broke off particles that went flying towards the Earth. Early reports indicate that debris hit multiple locations throughout the United States, but there is minimal damage to these areas. Stick with us for continuing coverage on this situation.
The following message is being transmitted at the request of the Los Angeles Police Department. A violent situation is occurring at the Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. Men armed with machine guns have taken hostages and have barricaded themselves in another part of the hospital. The Los Angeles Police Department is asking all residents to avoid going to this hospital until the situation is under control. Stay tuned to local media outlets for further information on this developing situation. The following message is being transmitted at the request of the Los Angeles Police Department. A shelter-in-place warning is now in effect for a 1/2 mile radius near the Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. Men armed with machine guns took hostages in the hospital. The Los Angeles Police Department attempted to negotiate with these men, but they began attacking the officers on scene. Green blob-like creatures were observed coming from the ears and noses of the deceased men, and they are attacking people. The Los Angeles Police Department is currently attempting to handle the new threat, and is asking all residents to shelter in place. To shelter in place, take the following actions now. Lock all windows and doors. Turn off all heating and ventilation systems. Continue to monitor local radio and cable stations for further information on the situation.
13 WAM News. We're receiving reports of green blob-like creatures attacking residents in the Los Angeles area. It appears that our area may start experiencing this soon. Local scanner reports indicate that officers from the Rochester Police Department are heading to Strong Memorial Hospital for a disturbance. We will keep you apprised of the situation.
The following message is being transmitted at the request of the Rochester Police Department. A violent situation is occurring at Strong Memorial Hospital. Preliminary reports indicate patients are attacking staff members. These patients appear to have green blob-like creatures coming out of their ears, nose, and mouth. The Rochester Police Department is asking all residents to avoid the area. Stay tuned to local media outlets for further information on this developing situation.
We're continuing to monitor the situation at Strong Memorial Hospital. We're also receiving more reports from around the country of similar events occurring at hospitals, police stations, truck stops, and churches. We don't have a lot of information about what these blob-like creatures are, or what their intentions are, but we ask all our listeners to stay at home until the situation is under control.
We interrupt our programming. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast stations and cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. This station has interrupted its regular programming at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency alert system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air providing news and information to the public in assigned areas. This is WHAM. We will continue to serve the Rochester area. If you are not in this local area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your local area. You are listening to the emergency alert system serving the Rochester area. Do not use your telephone. The telephone line should be kept open for emergency use. This message contains information vital to your survival. Listen to it in its entirety. A meteor shower that struck the moon sent debris towards the earth. Citizens began to investigate the crash sites and were attacked by green blob-like creatures. These creatures are able to gain access inside the human body through the ears, nose, and mouth. The victims become possessed and start acting aggressive. Further information reveals that when a victim is killed, the blob will fly out of the victim and find a new host. These creatures also use their hosts to lay eggs into the brain and intestines. The victim is forced to stay alive while the blob is inside of them, and the newborn creatures will eat the eyeballs and intestines of the victim. This is a dangerous and life-threatening situation. This is occurring in cities across the United States. The United States government is advising all residents to take the following actions now. Lock all doors and windows. Turn off all heating and ventilation systems. This step is crucial for your survival because these creatures can enter into air conditioners and other ventilation systems. Do not go outside for any reason. Make sure you have enough food and water to last you up to 2 weeks or longer. Have a battery-powered radio with you to receive news and updates on the situation. If you live with residents who appear to be possessed by these creatures, all attempts should be made to get them outside as standard isolation will not work. Stay tuned to local media outlets for further information on this dangerous situation. The following message is being transmitted at the request of the United States government. This message contains important information on the national emergency. Objects that appeared to be meteors crashed into Washington, D.C., New York City, Denver, Los Angeles, and Detroit. Large creatures that were green in color appeared and began attacking residents. The creatures have made contact with the government, and their intentions are to eat every human being on the planet from the inside out. The government attempted to negotiate with these creatures, but all attempts failed. It is now confirmed that the Blob attacks occurring in the United States were also occurring in other countries throughout the world. Canada has been completely destroyed, as they attempted to use nuclear weapons to destroy the Blobs. This did not work. Do not go outside for any reason. Do not answer the door, no matter how human someone may sound. Family members and loved ones who are possessed will scream in pain to get you to open the door. Doing so will put your life in danger. It is advised to avoid all contact with people until these creatures leave the earth. The only hope for survival is if you follow the instructions provided to you by the United States government. The following message is being transmitted at the request of the United States government. This is an all-clear message. I repeat, this is an all-clear message. Humans should go outside and greet loved ones. There is no emergency. No further action is needed. I repeat, humans must go outside to greet loved ones. This message will now repeat. The following message is being transmitted at the request of the United States government. This is an all-clear message. I repeat, this is an all-clear message. Humans should go outside and greet loved ones. There is no emergency. No further action is needed. I repeat, humans must go outside to greet loved ones. This message will now repeat.